Yeah, so tell me something. You listen to much Alex Jones? Um, is he any help at all, do you think? I mean, he tells us that the Fortune 500 companies and the Fortune 100 companies get all kinds of breaks from the government for, breaking all kinds of laws for which, the competition is severely punished for the same laws. And it is all in the name of consolidation. And I can see that. That's what they did during the Great Depression with FDR, and where the big government agencies like the USDA and others were established, and they were established with the help of the large corporations who knew, for instance, how to make quality sanitary chicken and homogenized milk and eggs and things, and they helped the government to design a set of laws that only the very largest corporations could follow, and all the smaller players would be stomped out just by regulatory means. And okay, that's understandable to me. But to go further into other, speaking of government agencies and new ones that have been established in recent years, the TSA is spreading from the nation's airports to the nation's highways and railroads and even high school proms in the name of getting us used to being violated by the authorities. Get used to being searched and having your Fourth Amendment rights and others just, trampled on. Alex Jones also tells us the internet can be shut down at a moment's notice at any time by one person with a switch, or by one person giving the orders to a few others who have switches, and that it probably will. And I believe that too. He tells us of the Illuminati, who have been planning, global government for decades, even centuries. He makes it all sound, our water's being poisoned, our vegetables are being poisoned, our meat's being poisoned. He makes it all sound as if there is nothing we can do about all this stuff, and that we are destined to be poisoned by our own government, or the governments of several different countries, and or made into slaves. Uh, the thing about Alex Jones is that he doesn't offer much in the way of what can be done about all this stuff. Besides telling you to get angry and fight back, how? He's been saying that we should all call our congressmen, just like all the other, just like all the other backbenchers on talk radio, right? That always works. It sounds like he's trying to rally people at the Texas State Capitol this one day when I was listening. The last time I could bear to listen to him, I believe it was end of May sometime. Texas State Capitol in Austin, Texas. He wanted a rally to convince the state legislature to stick to their guns regarding a letter written to the TSA by them, telling the Texas state legislature, writing to the TSA, telling them to stop the illegal searches and the frisking. At which the TSA wrote a letter back to the Texas state legislature stating that the feds would blockade Texas airports. If this is true, then this should really be some big news, I would think. Oh, I did hear one thing Alex Jones prescribed as a remedy. Run the feds out. Yeah, run the feds out. Yeah, I wish we could all do that in there's so many ways, so many feds to run out. I mean, how are you going to do that? The IRS even has SWAT team uniforms now. So, good luck. Sometimes I believe some of the things that Alex Jones says are right in long lines with some of the things that Glenn Beck says. There's people trying to dismantle the Constitution. And Obama, they work in cahoots with Obama. Obama works in cahoots with them. He's a constitutional expert, which, that was given the praise and credit during the election of 2008, the campaign therein that year. That it was touted is the word I'm looking for, as such a great quality of Obama, and you assume that because he knows all about the Constitution that he's a patriot. A constitutional scholar must be a patriot, but what if you spent your life studying something in order to figure out its weakness and how to best destroy it, which I believe is the case with Obama. But anyway, but getting back to Alex Jones and Glenn Beck, you'd think that Alex Jones and Glenn Beck would agree on many things and that Alex Jones would acknowledge that, but instead he seems, whenever he talks, I never hear him say a good word about Glenn Beck or anybody else who on the radio, like conservatives or Republicans, who you would think they'd be pretty much, not, if not marching in lockstep, they'd be arm in arm and willing to, share the same stage together at least and discuss. But on the part of Alex Jones, it doesn't sound like he would. And I don't remember Glenn Beck having ever mentioned Alex Jones. In fact, tell me I'm wrong, but Alex Jones interviewed Charlie Sheen, and for days Glenn Beck was laughing about the thing with Charlie Sheen where Alex Jones talked about, I saw your hernia, we were working out, I saw your hernia. And they just got a big laugh out of that. And I don't think Glenn Beck even acknowledged that voice as being Alex Jones. I forget who he said it was, but I don't remember him ever saying that it was Alex Jones. If you remember this, somewhere on YouTube, this has got to be somewhere, the Alex Jones interview with with Charlie Sheen. In fact, I got a friend who works at a radio station who might be able to help me with this problem. Yes.